I come to the, which is supposed to be the armed forces related issue, lasers and direct energy as a military weapons and its impact on the eye. It's a real eye opener. How the laser systems are being used. I think this slide was basically meant for the non-military group of the ophthalmologists. When you think of war or you think of any army person, you always think that he is having a gun or a pistol in his hand and shooting every time. So the war also, that in any this, the eye injuries may be because of so many reasons, but you see that less than 35% of the total of the war trauma is of the ocular or the polytrauma related with the eye. Now, what you see in an operational area, those who have gone, deceased, their data is not available. Let it be very honest, because multiple injuries and all. A good number of cases would have been handled by RMOs or the field hospitals. Their data are also not available with us. Those who are coming to the service ophthalmic centers, their data is available in our country, and we have a tendency of keeping everything under carpet, whatever whether it is your data of the clinical practice, military warfare, so-called, and your mistakes also put under carpet, concealing things. But in the Western world, after some time, the data are available. So the most of the war data, operational injuries are coming up from the US. They are more liberal in these issues. In military system, there may be operational injuries, there may be non-operational injuries. Operational injuries are maybe the war injuries or the training-induced injuries. So these are the different types of injuries you can see. Armed forces functions not only on the ground, air, sea, submarine, and now in space too. So the horizon is becoming too broad to have, more you have the gadgets, more you have a sophisticated, more you have a trouble. A simple 20 years ago, you go to bank to get your bank statement, the passbook would have been filled. Today you go, if there is a interruption in the internet, you will not get anything. The same in the airport, the same in every system, that it gets to standstill. So more we are technology oriented, more problems are coming. The same way, the modern warfare systems are highly complex and they are giving all kind of problems. Radiation, biological and chemical warfare induced impacts may be much more significant than those away from the main operational areas. So laser, electrolaser and direct energy weapons induced ocular trauma is a newer threat, and probably our young generation, those major and young lieutenant colonels, when they become senior brigadiers, this will be the larger volume of the ophthalmic injuries you will be seeing. Within 5 years you will change, though there are a lot of restrictions on the lasers in the different convention by the United Nations. But as usual, who believes and who bothers about all this? I won't accept what I am doing it, but everybody is doing it. Let it go with that idea. If I am not doing it, any laser weapons, etc., but I must know how to prevent these injuries. And for that, I have to develop a system which is against it. If you have to develop a system against it, you have to have the system first in your hand, then only you can counteract. Let it have this concept in mind. Yes, we may not be using it for the operational purpose. Laser weapons have been a staple. Now this is a science fiction. In my early school days, whatever was there, that Phantom is coming and all those, the James Bond pictures in 1970s, he had a special car, he had a different coming, but now it is a reality. And that reminds me, in one of my hostel classmates, he was a little lazy type. So what he did is, his room was on the second floor, so while sleeping, he put that one small, this nada called there, in his nose, and it was stick with the door. If door is not later used to do like that. So like this Pushpak Viman and all those movement hand, now it is reality. The movement hand, you have this, this is opening. Before I go, it just clicked to me about the hydrogenic or the non-operational, these laser scans, whatever is coming in the airport. Though they claim that they are very safe, but who knows what is the limit of the safe. Not of the part of it, but it came, so I said I must put it there. Nations around the world are rapidly developing high energy weapons for military missions, as I mentioned. Vision of swarms of small expensive drones filling the sky, all those are now in the realities which is coming. Normal circumstances, you use the high power laser systems to cut through the biological tissue in medical or in the medical procedures. We are using so many lasers in soft, small tissues, but in the other surgical domain, they use a very high intensity laser procedures are being performed there. On the same way, the power level of the lasers for the different practice will be much different. In the laser weapons, the based in the part on the progress made in the high power industrial lasers. So things started with the industries, cutting the these metals and all other cementing, everywhere the lasers are being used. So with that we got the idea to go with the laser weapons. The high energy laser systems that are finding military applications are based on solid state lasers. So neo-DIMM is the backbone of all those lasers systems, whatever is coming. And in ophthalmic practice, like the femto lasers, that is also the solid laser. So from these crystal particle lasers, the argon lasers, now we have switched over to the solid laser. And these solid lasers are all military weapons are coming up with this. We don't know. Some conjunctions are there, like in the Iran-Iraq Gulf conflicts. The hitting on these Osama and then the General Soleimani by the Americans, it is presumed that the laser weapons were used in that case. We don't know about Galwan, what has happened, that sudden melting electricity, all those by the Chinese. It may be one of those experimental, we don't know, nobody knows about it. It will never come on these things. So there are different these things. The Navy has deployed a ship-based high-energy lasers to defend against small and fast-moving ocean surface vessels. So it is coming up. On the same way, the US Air Force is also developing high-energy lasers on aircraft for defensive and offensive missions. In 2010, Air Force tested it was as a 60 megawatt laser mounted on a modified Boeing 747. So you will see that gradually this is appearing. And there is a claim that in the Ukraine-Russia war, these laser weapons may be used, they would have used it. What about the China and other countries? We don't know about it. For us, yes, it is a significant threat to the vision in modern military operations. Operations are based, my is a 10 minutes talk, not 8 minutes. The earlier concept was of the mortality, but now it is a morbidity, the multiple morbidity, and easiest to make somebody blind. A small hit, but then he is off the activities. So that is why the significant threat to vision is the main target for the military operations in different type of gadgets is coming up in these things. This has already been covered, laser classifications. Now how it is related with the ocular trauma, there are the factors of the power, then there is a wavelength and color, they play a factor for injury thresholds. Green wavelengths are more easily absorbed and therefore cause more damage to the retina compared to the red wavelengths or equivalent power. Again, there is a duration. How much is the duration? Energy settings. This is very important things and Gaurav has already covered, so which is applicable here also. Then in the direct energy induced, accidental exposures to the NDEAC is most risky, and this is happening in military setups. The other is the retinal hemorrhages, retinal swellings, macular edema. All those are seen in our cases here. If you go with these things, the laser injuries, by and large, it will be common as the iatrogenic injuries. It is because it is intended to produce the morbidities. But in the higher energies may produce retinal and vitreous hemorrhages due to absorptions of radiations by the melanin-rich retinal pigment epithelium. Foveal lesions, more common because moment there is a flash, the eye will look into the flash and the foveal lesions may come. So laser injuries are by and large, they are the smaller than the radiation injuries due to the nuclear blast. But the pattern would be the same type of pattern. And obviously other than that there will be the, if the object is away from the main target zone of the laser conflict, then the impact may be less, and the delayed effects of the laser lesions, and ERM, radiation-induced retinopathy, scarring, etc., retinal holes, detachment and delayed blindness may also be seen. These are the symptoms being attacked by the direct energies. So anything which you can think of may be the part of the direct injuries, because the neuropsychological disorder, psychological issues, headache, nausea, vomiting, vertigo. So you have to see that it is not only the patient will come only with the standalone ocular injuries in the laser warfare system. There will be multiple, and our part will be one of that associated with disease. And yes, significant loss of weight, muscular disabilities, and major and fast hair loss. This could be also due to the radiation effects. To conclude, military laser weapon systems are becoming indispensable in most modern armies. These lasers have outplaced research on eye protections measures which continue to have inherent limitations. Eye injuries caused by military lasers are increasingly reported, leading to speculation that these would become an important cause of binding in modern conflicts. As a part of the efforts to ban inhuman weapons, international laws have been passed to restrict the proliferation of such binding weapons. But as I have mentioned, who cares about it? So you have to face this music. However, there are controversies concerning the interpretation, implementation, and effectiveness of these laws. The ophthalmic community can play a greater role in highlighting ocular morbidity from military lasers and in preventing their future proliferations. Thank you very much.
Thank you, General Parihar, for lucid presentation on the use of lasers in war setting. Actually, one doesn't know what all countries are preparing, using, and all those. So it is just a speculation that one can tell, but countries are spending a lot of money for use of lasers in the war setting.